To a deep-sea creature, a submarine is rarely neutral. We descend like nothing that belongs there, a massive, humming shape glowing with artificial light in a world that has known only darkness for millions of years. We are not predators in any form their evolution prepared them for, yet we trigger something ancient and immediate. That sudden, alien intrusion forces a deeper question. What actually happens inside their minds when a submarine appears? Do they see us as a threat, as curiosity, or does their nervous system simply stall, unable to classify what we are? Every deep-sea animal carries a threat assessment system running constantly in the background. In the crushing blackness, where food is scarce and survival is fragile, they must decide in fractions of a second whether something is danger, opportunity, or nothing at all. This calculation becomes especially strange when a submarine arrives. In the deep ocean, most creatures have never encountered large moving objects with bright lights and mechanical sounds. Their world is one of faint bioluminescence, chemical sense, and pressure. A submarine breaks every pattern their biology expects. Researchers have documented this mismatch many times. There is the famous encounter with a jumbo squid in the Bering Sea. The large cephalopod approached a Greenpeace submarine, then aggressively attacked it, wrapping its tentacles around the vessel and spraying dark clouds of ink. The squid did not flee. Instead, it engaged, as if testing or confronting this strange intruder that did not behave like any whale or known predator. Other observations show a very different response. During scientific dives with manned submersibles, many deep-sea fish and invertebrates exhibit what researchers describe as a freeze response. Their bodies go still. Movement stops. They hover in the water column or remain pressed against the seafloor, locked in assessment while bright lights flood their environment. Their usual flight or fight instincts appear suspended as their nervous systems search for the right category and come back empty. One documented case involved a group of deep-sea sharks near a research submersible. As the vehicle approached slowly, several sharks froze in place rather than swimming away. They maintained position, gills moving slowly, eyes reflecting the lights, as if their threat detection system was overwhelmed by the mismatch. The submarine was too large to be normal prey, too slow and noisy to be a typical predator, and too alien to fit any existing template. Similar reactions have been recorded with anglerfish, viperfish, and various squid species. Some individuals approach the submersible with apparent curiosity, drawn to the lights or the new vibrations. Others retreat into the darkness, but only after a prolonged period of stillness, as if needing extra time to process the stimulus before deciding on escape. Science suggests this hesitation comes from how their brains handle pattern recognition in an environment with almost no light. Most natural threats in the deep sea are either bioluminescent lures, fast-moving hunters, or gradual chemical changes. A submarine presents something entirely different. Constant bright light that blinds sensitive eyes, low-frequency mechanical noise that travels far, and a large, solid shape that moves with unnatural steadiness. Their ancient alarm systems, finely tuned over millions of years, suddenly receive data that doesn't match anything in their evolutionary library. Studies using remotely operated vehicles and manned subs have shown that reactions vary significantly by species and depth. Some delicate gelatinous creatures, like siphonophores and ctenophores, appear particularly sensitive. They often retract or dim their bioluminescence when exposed to artificial light and movement. Others, like certain grenadier fish, seem more tolerant and have been observed following submersibles for short distances, possibly investigating them as potential food sources or simply novel objects in their sparse world. The DARPA research program known as PALS was built around this very phenomenon. Scientists observed that many marine animals show detectable behavioral changes in the presence of underwater vehicles, changes in schooling, movement patterns, or activity levels. These biological responses are now being explored as potential natural sensors for detecting submarines and other submersibles. But statistics and behavioral studies only capture part of what is happening. These creatures are reacting in ways their world has never trained them for. Some individuals slowly approach the submersible with deliberate, curious movements. Others hover motionless in the water column, bodies rigid, eyes reflecting the unnatural glare. In those suspended seconds, their ancient nervous systems are working overtime, desperately searching for familiar patterns, weighing invisible risks, and trying to place this humming, glowing object that fits nothing in their evolutionary memory. The lights pierce through the darkness they were born into. The low vibrations move through their bodies. The solid shape glides too steadily to match any predator they've ever known. And so, for a brief time, everything in their silent universe seems to pause. The next time a submersible descends into the blackness and lights up creatures that have never seen the sun, those animals are running their own silent calculations in real time. They are deciding, in their own way, whether this strange visitor is something to fear, something to investigate, or something their entire evolutionary history has left them unprepared for. We are not invisible to them, but we are not anything their world prepared them to understand either. And perhaps that is what makes these deep-sea meetings so powerful. Two vastly different worlds, never meant to meet, briefly sharing the same dark space, each quietly trying to make sense of the other.